Podcast Season 4, Episode 18. We have the 2022 World Championships. We are here, DRX versus T1. Holy fucking shit. DRX pulled off the upset. They beat GenG. So there's a lot to discuss when it comes to that. There's been a lot of 2022 offseason rumors and news floating around there. So yeah, man, it's been absolutely crazy to go through all of this season and see all of this stuff happen. Actually, sorry, the episode is going to be coming out much later for some of you guys. If you guys actually do happen to watch the VOD, thank you so much. You don't always have to watch the show live. I find it crazy how some people only want to watch stuff live, but if there's a VOD up, they just won't watch it. It's like I really don't know how you would actually think that, but it's okay. I mean, I'm a person who watches VODs and stuff live myself, so that's just what I personally do. But just think about it this way: you can still watch the VOD that's there, because there are some channels out there who don't keep their VODs up. They kind of put them through a paywall, or they just straight up delete them. I'm not really like that. I just keep them up, actually, because, I want to give the people who were watching live a chance to personally, interact with me if they want to ask me stuff, or the person that I have on, or, you simply just keep it up so that way people can have something to, watch when they are, either at work or they're just busy or something. So that's pretty much that. If you're watching this, make sure you smash the like button. As always, I always kind of make sure I put the pinned comment there, actually, and make sure you guys just do that. Always greatly helps out. There's been so much news going on, and yeah, there's some news that I haven't got to yet, and it's not really about views or anything. It's mostly about just getting the information out there, because there have been some news videos for off seasons in the past that I did that were kind of late. They're about a few days late, and they still did very well, in the algorithm. But, there's a few other videos to do. For the remainder of the news that I have to tackle, I might just end up just putting it all together in one video, but there's another video that I have to do, because LEC Woodle put another tweet, actually. Oh, sorry, it was a post on his Instagram page where he was talking about Team Liquid and Blippo. So I think that's my next video, actually. But yeah, just the offseason news has been absolutely crazy, because you got to factor in, whenever you hear things like players allowed to explore options, that's usually 9 times out of 10 means that the org is looking to move on, from said players, actually, but that doesn't also guarantee that the players are actually out. What that really means is it's just the fact that it's just a negotiation, because they might actually want to explore their options of players potentially on the free market, but they might also not want to lose you either. And, the players themselves also want to be on teams, for the next year as well. So there's a lot of things here. I know people are kind of more used to the traditional sports way of it. This doesn't work like that. There's no draft, actually. People, and if there is a quote unquote draft, they're randomly picking players from, fucking China, Korea, LCS, and LEC. So that's just that. The big news of this week, actually, was Hansama and Mickey X, joining G2, which is crazy to think about, because remember, G2 went out and actively got Flacket and Targamas because they thought that these players had really high potential. But I think Flacket and Targamas, peaked as high as they really could, at the 2022 MSI event that happened, earlier in the year, and they never really played up to that level, ever again, actually. Flacket and Targamas were getting hard gapped at, Worlds this year, and it was very apparent they really could not compete up against the best. Now, there are some people out there who have said, well, why not just give them another chance? Well, the thing here is you play scrims with a lot of these players too, And this year, when you have NA and Worlds, a lot of the Asian teams are literally leaving last minute just to come over here, because the solo queue practice is really bad here. Having Worlds and NA is just really bad, all things considered, because there are always so many complications. Teams from, China and Korea leave at the last minute because they'll just scrim each other because they have much better practice there, so they'll just come over here after they've already, pretty much just been warmed up, and then they'll come over and, obviously they queue up in Champions Queue just to play essentially just warm up games. Really, they're not really actually trying here, and the solo queue environment here is really bad. So you can't really get any meaningful practice in North American solo queue. You just can't. Also, it's worse on the NA teams to actually play here for years that have been, with North American Worlds, specifically because, the best thing about China and Korea is that teams from the West can go over there and scrim teams. Now, in the LCK, actually, there will be these other teams there that'll be willing to also scrim, because there's no other players you can really play against. So you have like the European teams and the NA teams go over there, and everyone is going to get their good practice in because the solo queue environments are really good. You can get more games in. The ping is really low. The internet is really great. And if you kind of factor that in, it's even more of a benefit to have it in Europe, actually, than it is to have it in North America. So, yeah, that's just my thing, because a lot of people have to understand the best performances that NA has ever had at Worlds, considerably if you consider just Cloud9's performances, a lot of those were in, not North America, actually. A lot of those were in, the East, actually, when Cloud9 got to the 2018 League of Legends World Championship semifinals. They were also in Korea at that time, where you could get meaningful practice. There's really no incentive to really practice against other NA teams. I know it was heavily said that the NA teams were, heavily scrimming against each other. Well, that's really not going to do any good, because NA teams have, scrim each other all year. You're not going to get any better scrimming against 100 Thieves. What benefit does Cloud9 have from scrimming 100 Thieves? What benefit does EG have to scrim against Cloud9? They've played against each other, guys, literally pretty much all year. Now, if you count the C9 roster a bit different because they kind of swapped out some players, fine then. But ever since the start of the LCS 2022 summer split, they have been playing against each other in scrims. I mean, VOD reviews, and I know the scrim environment is like really bad here in, for Western teams or just NA in general, right? But there's nothing of value to gain from Cloud9 and EG 100 Thieves scrimming each other. There just isn't. So I think NA was doomed from the beginning since having Worlds here, Also, viewership apparently reported has been down, actually, and it's one of these things where I would rather watch better games from China and Korea than rather watching depressingly shit games here. I mean, NA went 3-15. This is just about as bad as record as the LMS went like some years back, before they were like rebranded into the PCS due to like, they even lost some of their world spots, actually, because of just their consistent bad performances, but I know people said they kind of don't want NA to be a major region, but the thing here, guys, is that's never going to happen because, the game was created in North America, so the chances of that happening is just not going to happen. So there's a lot of different layers to this, personally, but the 2022 League of Legends World Championship semifinals kicked off this week. The biggest narratives to talk about are GenG versus DRX and T1 versus JDG. So let's start with GenG versus T1 versus. Did I put T1 versus RNG? Oh my fucking god! I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. In the title, I put RNG. I meant to put JDG. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just saw that. Let me think. Did he be?
Let me actually fix this. Let me actually fix this right now. So anyone who's watching live, just when I fix this, refresh your browser in about 1 minute, okay? I'm sorry, I put the wrong thing. I was typing up this stuff pretty fast because I've been doing like, off-season content, pretty much for the last 2 days. I've dropped, 6 videos in the last 2 days, dropping off-season content.
MSK was smoking crack.
God damn.
14 grams of crack.
I mean, let's be honest here, guys. JDG and RNG pretty much were basically the same Chinese team, right? Because they all look the same, right?
They both got smoked.
You know what's really crazy? about the JDG series is JDG kept fighting them, but they never made any good macro decisions, actually.
Nope.
You know? So here, I'll explain it in just a moment to all you guys. Okay, so let me go back to the tab. All right, refresh your tab that you have this show on right now, and it shows the right team, okay? And anyone who's watching this, always make sure to like and subscribe. Please make sure you do that. All right, so the JDG versus T1 series. During the series, as I was watching it, it was very apparent as the series progressed that T1 were the better team. It was very apparent. Now, going into the match, actually, we have to kind of factor this stuff in. The strongest players on JDG were Kanavi and 369. Yagao was not as good as people were talking about. I've never been the guy that's so big on Yagao, actually. I've always thought he was just okay. He's literally Jensen and Bjergsen for, like, LPL mid laners. That's literally how good he is. He's just them. If Jensen and Bjergsen did a fusion dance, that'd be Yagao, actually. And Jensen and Bjergsen are good in some aspects, but when you compare Jensen and Bjergsen to like Faker, Showmaker, Chovy, now Zeka, yeah, you start to go, well, yeah, there is much better in the world, you know? So we already knew going into the series that JDG were definitely going to be, you know, not the favorites going in. And it's one of these things where I mentioned this earlier too. Their bot lane wasn't the reason why they were winning. Okay, Hope and Missing were not the reason why they were winning a lot of their games. Even in the group stage, when they were dominating the group stage, Hope and Missing were not the reasons why. Then the other aspect of it is they're constantly fighting T1. They're not really actually doing anything good. Even in the first game that they won, you're sitting there going like, these guys weren't even playing for like Drakes, objective timers, Rift Heralds. They're just fighting consistently. Now, the LPL is known for just constantly fighting. I'm pretty sure you heard that on the broadcast, right? They just keep constantly fighting. Well, you can't keep constantly fighting, guys. You need to actually take objectives. Yeah, you need to actually play the game on somewhat of a smart level. So you need to get turret plates, you need to get your Rift Heralds, you need to get your blue buffs, your scuttles, you need to get your dragons. You can do all of that and still fight consistently. Now, JDG's only thing was that they were going to pick mid to late game scaling champions that were good enough early on to constantly fight T1's comps. Now, that's only going to work in game one because I think in game one's, JDG's comp was just better. But as the series went on, it was just, okay, these guys are just completely worse in like every single regard. Yeah, there's that game where 369 was playing Renekton and he got ahead, but he didn't even impact the team. It's the same shit. It's the same shit Chovy went through. Why is it that Chovy, if he doesn't impact his team with his lead, get completely just railed on by a lot of people, but 369 was extremely ahead on Renekton, and he wasn't doing jack shit to impact his team. He wasn't TPing at all. He wasn't roaming around the map trying to impact his team at all. You know, he was just playing Renekton and just got ahead early on, and it's like, okay, I guess. Kanavi tried his best, and I made sure I highlighted that last week. Kanavi was their best player, and if he's not really ahead in the game, dictating the pace of the game, you know, really ganking consistently, then they're not really going to be doing well, and I got that he did that for 369 and Renekton, and the Renekton pick should have snowballed the game, actually. Well, doesn't really matter when T1's bot lane have been the best performing bot lane at Worlds this year, because T1's bot lane have been insanely good, you know, despite low expectations of them coming in. What did you think about the JDG T1 series, man?
Game one, I didn't. That was the one I missed. The next three, it was like, I think T1 adjusted. They just played their game. It was T1. I've noticed that every game so far, once they got into the knockout round, it was mainly just them. Like game one felt like practice. I feel like that one, JDG just outclassed them, but it wasn't like a significant.
Yeah, it was very close, actually. That game could have went either way. I think the big difference in that game one, was the Galio pick, because I'm pretty sure Yagao was on Galio. And, well, Galio against Akali is just really bad, because he could just, do his taunt, and she can't really do anything. Like, if she leaps in, he just taunts, and she can't do anything. Also, Galio's way too tanky, so she can't burst him either. Sorry, no, my bad. Faker was on Galio.
Faker was on Galio.
I'm thinking about the fucking, oh my god. That was another game, guys. But yeah, this was the game right here. I knew someone played Galio. Yagao, I think Yagao played decently well on Talia. Yeah, this was the game. Yeah. This was their best game. But it was constant back and forth fighting. Like, there really wasn't ever a part in the game where you're like, yeah, they're outclassing T1 so hard. You know, I thought 369 got caught out at various bad moments, actually. But the thing here is, if you have Talia, like, you can make more plays on the map. So this game looked a lot more closer than it should have. But you're thinking to yourself, with how Talia is as a champion, this game should have just been over within like 25-ish minutes. For one, guys, the reason why you need to understand this is Talia can make such an impact on the map. So all Talia has to do is pretty much just roam top, wait for Doran or Zeus to blow his flash a bit early on, and then you just seismic shove him. Jack sleeps. What's that thing? He counter strikes, goes in and stuns, and you just kill him. So I do think Yigao, this was Yigao's best game at Worlds by far, but that wasn't saying much because the other games he got completely gapped in. And there was this like handshake thing both teams kept doing. They're like, okay, our players are only going to play Lucian, Nami, and Aphelios and Lulu. That's it. I was like, so all the bot lane games were pretty much Lucian and Nami versus Aphelios and Lulu. Okay. Yep. Okay. Sure. But it didn't matter because people need to understand, T1's biggest thing is T1 like to have early game skirmishes. That is their biggest thing, early game skirmishes. So someone's going to ask, what is an early game skirmish? They like to get down and dirty. It's kind of like the saying. So they pick champions with really good kits early on to have scrappy team fights where their champions are overall favored more. So that way they get an advantage. Early on, Lucian and Nami will have an advantage over Philos and Lulu. All Lucian has to do is walk up, auto double Q Aphelios. He's gonna get chunked out. Nami's just gonna easily disengage what Lulu can do. Nami has a bubble. That's it. And Nami can also just heal Lucian as well. Then if you need Galio to be sped up, Nami could just obviously speed up the Galio as well. And then you also have Vi. And Vi early on is going to decimate Aphelios and Lulu. So overall, T1's comp represents what they have been doing. They like to do skirmishes early on. They like to have their mid game, late game scaling team comps. That's pretty much been their playstyle for a while. They do have a really good early game. They translate these mid-late game champions into early game champions for whatever reason. So yeah, game 1, GenG win, actually, and game 2, you have 369 on Malphite. I don't know why. I don't know why. I mean, and somehow Poppy got in and stole the fucking dragon. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, you could tell, like, JDG never really had the biggest grasp of this series to begin with, you know? I do feel bad for Kanavi. I do think he played exceptionally well. I do think 369 played well, but it's not really a top Jung focused meta right now, to the point where those champions from those lanes are going to be your biggest deciding ways of winning the game. This was also the game where it was close, but it only looks close from the aspect of just the fighting. So in this game, T1 specifically were outplaying them in every single aspect of the game. So T1 were taking more turrets. So if JDG got kills, the other players on T1 were getting turrets. Every time JDG made a play to get kills, T1 routed them and got more objectives, guys. Doesn't matter how much you kill someone. All that matters is taking objectives, actually. So right here, they're having this skirmish. No, this is the one. Yeah, Yigao was getting chunked down. This guy. Yes, he was getting chunked out. But remember, this is the part where you're thinking like, okay, I think JDG can actually win this. Why are they backing off? Like, this is the things I'm talking about for some of these guys. This is disgustingly bad. Okay, so 369 already dies. Okay, and then they kill Silas right here. Yeah, Gumayushi kills Silas, right? So then, my bad, he doesn't die. So
he doesn't die.
My bad.
I forgot who died on
Gumayusi. Yeah,
Gumayusi. Yeah, he died.
So this is the thing. Why are they not fighting them? Are they that scared of a Poppy ult? Why are they not fighting them?
But you got Silas, the best champion on their side in that fight is low health, and then you got what is it?
See, right here. If they took that fight earlier and maybe blew more summoner spells on them, because they just got a pick. That's what the Malphite is there for. The Malphite is there to ult and get a pick. I don't know what the fuck that was for.
But Malphite in like this man, I realize he's a little squishier. Like,
because if you don't run there's a certain item you have to run to make him tankier, but it gives you less damage.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, because I played Malphite. It's just Nah,
You're literally just it's just an alt. That's it. You're just an alt champion.
yeah, that's it. And it's like, and if you
But
don't,
you can't put 369 on that. Like that's their problem is you can't put him on that because
nah,
you're mostly putting him on utility. You can't put your best carry player on utility. So utility is good for what the team needs, and it's not like more solo carry, right?
yeah,
So a utility champion is someone like Ashe, someone like Sivir, someone like
yeah,
Jhin, right? They
yeah.
provide what the team needs in a wide range of things, but they're not like a carry champion.
Don't get me started on Jhin. Jhin.
Well, we're going in a minute. But yeah, guys, that was the JDG T1 series. Game 4 was just a complete stomp.
Game 4 of the fucking massacre. That wasn't even. That was
once they lost Game 3, they were like, "Oh, we're done." All right, so
yeah. Once they lost Game 3 the way they did, it was.
This is where Game 4 was decided, right? Yes, this is where Game 4 was decided. It wasn't at this spot per se. I mean, to be fair, I don't like the Karma Jhin bot lane. I just don't like it.
Nah,
especially against Varus, it doesn't matter. If Karma throws Mantra Flame, first of all, Varus could just easily not get in front of that because he has so much utility in his kit not to get in front of it, he can just poke you out. Then you also have Renata. Renata could just disengage her anyway.
Yeah.
Also, it won't matter as the game scales up because Azir could just poke her out. There's Viego that could just get in there. Zeus could easily just disengage her with his cast. I mean, I was not the hugest fan of what JDG was bringing to the table in terms of the draft. Later on, as the game went on, it was this fight that really decided the game. So Varus and Renata and Azir do very well at Rift Herald fights because they have long range. And you know what JDG were like? We have shorter range, but we're just going to start it up first. Like, what? Then Hope burns Cleanse because he Gumusi Varus ulted. Zeus, I'm not really too sure why he kind of like went in there and did that. Faker obviously goes into Azir ults. And this, once you see this fight, you're like, okay, this is over. This is not, this is so bad. Their brains are fried. I was like, why would you take this fight? Oh, worst fights ever. If you get people down this low, it's like, why is Zhigao just leaping into that? There's no way you can kill them. They also have majority of their health. He thought, wait a minute, they have no mana. No, you could just auto attack. That's it.
Just auto attack. Plus, you got a lot of squishy champions.
Like, and if he would have just like singled off one of them, I'd be cool. Like imagine if Yagao, people need to understand in high pressure scenarios. Imagine a scenario like this. What if he just waited? So, because sometimes people are a little too bloodthirsty for certain kills. Imagine just waiting. Okay, you wait there. Okay, don't go in yet. Nope, don't do that. What if he just waited in that moment? Then, right when they're right here, where my mouse cursor is, when they're right here, you go in and then you kill him. How about if he had waited, he would have been able to do a lot more and maybe actually kill them. But no, he goes in early on, dies early on. He could have also made it a 3v2 with Silas, with Jhin. So you're thinking to yourself, why didn't you just wait? And then after this guy, the game's over. They just keep fighting them and they just keep losing. Yeah. It's one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen.
Right there. Go back.
What?
It was tutorial. It was when right after Hope missed and then he got hit. It was a wrap there. After this.
This was when you're thinking like, okay, no, don't keep fighting. Why not just take the trade? But the thing is, Renata ult chunks them out so hard. They have
Renata ult good.
The trades are really good. They also got summoners, but the Varus is just too far ahead. God, man. And the Faker just slides in.
This is when it was over. This right here.
This was definitively when they were like, okay, we're just going to keep fighting. And we're just going to keep losing.
Yeah, this is when it was over.
Also, I don't really know what was this Bel'Veth priority. So unlike Nyla, I don't think Bel'Veth is trash, but every time I've seen Bel'Veth played and it gets ahead, it just doesn't translate very well. Maybe its team's not playing it very well.
The issue is people don't play Bel'Veth. That's why people try playing Bel'Veth. It's like if you don't know how to play champion, you don't play the champion. It's like even if it's good or better. That's why you gotta learn.
See, Sean, I would have if they wanted to do skirmishes like that, like this Rift Herald fight. If they want to do skirmishes like that, why not pick Ashe?
Exactly, Cole. Exactly.
If you're picking utility, why not pick Ashe? Imagine Ashe just sitting right here, Wing and Qing, Ashe ulting. One of them gets stunned, and then you have your Silas go in. You have your Sejuani ult. If you're gonna pick utility, I think Ashe works way better.
Your Silas still the ulti, and it's just using it's a wrap.
Right there, if he was Ashe, he would have killed him. Ash would also Ash slows you too. Ash slows you with her Q. Her W's longer range. You could have also Ash ulted one of these guys to completely stun them, then run in. I think if you're gonna pick Jin, okay, Jin's not the champion for this kind of comp. You need Ash for this, or you pick Sivir. I don't know if Sivir was
Jin
banned.
is the champion. You play game one.
Was Sivir banned before this game? Maybe Sivir was banned, but yeah, Ash is the perfect champion for this comp.
I think Sivir might have been banned. I'm not sure.
Might have been. Well, that's it for the GenG T1 series. T1 pretty much I won't say ran through them.
You mean JDG T1 series?
Yeah, the JDG T1 series. I mean, T1 winning it shouldn't be a surprise. Most people thought they were gonna win. It also didn't help that Gumayusi, and it also didn't help them that Hope and Missing lost every 2v2. God.
Yes.
Every game they lost every 2v2. That is fucking disgusting.
Mind-boggling.
Bro, it was remember the Varus game I just showed, the Varus Renata game? Remember like 14 minutes in, the Varus got the double kill? I was like, just get off the stage. Just stop playing the game.
Nah, dude, I was like that when they were asking why they picked up Jin.
I was wondering why I didn't even pick Jin myself. I was like, and you pair it with Karma? What? All right, so let's talk about GenG. So, it's a lot of things to talk about. Let's start from the top, work our way bottom. Just from the series itself alone, Doran played extremely bad. Okay? Doran played extremely bad. And some people said, why not just play Rascal? Rascal also sucked last year. No, they're both trash. Doran is not good, and neither was Rascal. I want to put something into context here. So, last year, GenG were also in the semifinals of the World Championship and made top 4. They actually almost made it to the finals. They were one game away. They lost to EDG, who would later on win Worlds. That series was 3-2, with Clid, BDD, Ruler, Life, and Rascal. They were more closer to getting to a Worlds finals with a conceivably, on paper, worse roster. BDD was extremely clutch for GenG, but it was when he tried to do too much clutch things and he just overextended and died consistently, which is what really screwed them. But Clid didn't have the best synergy with BDD, and I understand why they changed the roster. I do, but how can you they seemingly regressed in the World Semifinals comparing to last year versus this year? They were more closer to making the finals last year than this year, actually, because people forget this. Peanut played for GenG before. I'm a GenG fan. I know they picked him before. He was not good. He stunk when they had him. It was complete trash. They shipped his ass off to fucking China, and he performed very well on LGD, kinda. And then he went to Worlds, and people were like, "Oh, is he really that bad?" No, he's just okay. Peanut at the end of the day is just okay. So they take Peanut back, and I'm like, you know what? I've never been a fan of like orgs just taking players back because, like, at the end of the day, let's be honest here, guys. There's a reason why they got rid of him in the first place because they didn't really see themselves doing very well with that player moving forward. So they take Peanut back. They get to the finals with him. They lose to T1 3-1. Then in summer, they do very well. They win the summer title actually over T1 3-0 actually. And people are like, maybe Peanut really isn't that bad. Maybe he's a bit better than most of us would expected. Well, the problem here is when you play jungle, and mostly everyone knows this. When you play jungle, if you have winning lanes consistently, it's a lot easier to look really better. It just is, because that's just how that works. There's a reason why certain junglers get praised more than other ones on conceivably worse teams because of just the nature of what the roster is, right? So Piosik technically has to deal with weaker players on paper, and, well, he's now at World's Finals. So one of the other bigger issues with Peanut is he's really only good in tank metas, and he's okay at best. I was told last week that Canyon was worse than Peanut because he lost to him. Guys, that's not how League works, okay? Now, on any level you think of, that is not how that works. Canyon gapped Peanut every single game except for, like, game 5. Yep. And even in that game, it was very still clear that he was better. It's one of these things where Peanut completely griefed them in the series. Remember we was playing Graves?
Yeah.
Game 2 when he had that Eclipse build and he thought he was more tankier than he actually was. And he was just completely running it down. Peanut might be the only player ever that I've ever watched to make Graves jungle look like a bad pick. Graves jungle is one of the most broken picks on this patch. Remember in game 4 when he picked Viego, when they gave him that counter pick in Viego, and then DRX gives Piosik Kindred, and you saw the passing that Peanut did, that should be reportable. I'd report your ass if you've been passing that badly. Go play fucking, I don't know, go play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 or some shit, because you can not be in my games passing that bad. Like, he completely got outpathed, outganked, underperformed massively. I don't see a world where he stays on the roster. I just don't. If GenG are going to change the roster up from being one game away from going to the finals last year, it should be a no-brainer to change the roster, right? Should be a no-brainer to change the roster now. Doran and Peanut just, no. Doran's not good. Even when Doran was on that legendary Griffin roster, he wasn't the best part about it. It was mostly Tarzan and Chovy and Viper and shit. You know what's also crazy? Players that play with Chovy and leave him do better than him. Last year, Chovy was on Hanma Life with Deft. They go out in the first round of playoffs, right? In the Worlds. Deft leaves Chovy and stays with and goes back to DRX, and he goes further than Chovy. It just feels like, and the thing with Chovy, guys, is Chovy was statistically the best laning mid laner in the world. He just was. He's had the highest CS differentials at 10 and 15 minutes in World's history. His numbers just speak for themselves. But that's just in laning, guys. There's more to League than just laning. Remember that game 4 he's playing? Remember his team's having a team fight and he was playing Rise and he ran to mid just to farm as his team is just dying? And they're like, where's my mid laner at? Like, where's my player? He just lost his brain. So I think there's many reasons why GenG lost the series. Bad drafting, players underperforming, Chovy losing faith in his jungler, Ruler and Lehan's really underperformed there. I mean, Ruler was the only player that played well throughout the series.
Plus, they just got outplayed. That's what it was. It was like
just pure setups. Remember that there were games where like they're setting up vision, they're setting up lane priority, they're setting up dives.
Yeah.
How are DRX outplaying them in setups? Remember there was a game where they left Deft in the bot lane to face a Fiora? What?
I'm there like, wait a second.
They left their misfortune by herself with a Fiora. Like, she isn't gonna fucking dive to Fiora with her fucking repost and her ult. Like, holy shit, man. Oh, God. And then in game 4, when they're drafting, you could tell, like, DRX wanted GenG's comp, and you could tell that GenG wanted DRX's comp. It's like, what? Because in the series, Zeka outplayed Chovy, out-CS'd him, outlaned him. I personally think DRX have been playing well pretty much the whole tournament, actually. You know? I think DRX has played well the whole tournament. I think they've had mistakes here or there in some games. But overall, I think DRX have played well, honestly. Now, if you go off of last year's EDG champion, because they had this like momentum that just kept building throughout the event, you know, is DRX that team? The team that goes in with a lot of momentum? Are they the ones to win? Because DRX are the ones peaking right now, actually. Yeah. Zeka has performed. He's my world's MVP. I know people have like Keria and Gumayusi. That's fine. They played really good, actually. I think Zeka is my MVP. That's personally for me. I think he's played absolutely amazing throughout the event. I mean, because people think that you could just ban him out now with a Silas and a Kali. Didn't he just play Galio and just gap someone? Well, we'll have to see how it goes. The last thing for DRX, I'll say, is against T1, because we're going to have to preview that matchup in a little bit. I don't know who I'm picking, because it's hard to really pick, because this is how these narratives are going to go. If they get smashed by T1, okay, this is how it works. Then people say, oh, they were never really that good. They just got lucky. All their games were flukes. Trying to like do that little shitty revisionist history, right? But in reality, guys, them just getting to this final spot is actually impressive in itself. Okay? Yeah. They were the only team to go from play-ins to World Finals. They finished, 5th to 6th place in the LCK 2022 Summer Split. Like, it was even unlikely to even make Worlds to begin with, So, I really don't know, honestly, Like, people are going to massively underrate and completely downplay all of their accomplishments at this World Championship if they don't win. I don't know actually how that goes. What do you think?
I'm probably leaning towards T1, and The issue with DRX in the last match was GenG. They were picking each other. It's like when you look at someone,
Yeah, they
because
were.
that's why that game 4 it was literally they picked.
Game 4 was so weird because you knew they wanted their champions and GenG wanted their champions.
Yeah, if you literally swap, I think if I this is what happened. I think if you swap the champions around, I think
Also,
GenG
why was
wins.
Lehans right there with his bot laner that recalled away? Look at this guy. This is so I can tell they were already choking. I saw a play like this and I was like, these people are choking. Look at this right here. Just this one scenario right here. Okay. So you get into the game.
Yep.
Right? Okay. So why is the Tom Kench by himself walking right there, knowing his AD carry is right here, who I just recalled about a second before that? When there's a Soraka and a Sejuani.
Yeah, nah, this
Like,
is
what
bad.
is that? People don't call out that shit. We're just gonna call out all of Chovy, right? We're not gonna call out that. Yeah. That is horrifically griefing. How's that not griefing? Then this was the game where what was the game? The game that Zeka played Ari and he landed that charm. That was amazing to look at. That was actually great. Amazing. Yeah, Zeka's been popping off so hard. Like it was the charm right here, right? So this was it. Okay, so he spear rushes, flashes, charms. That was beautiful to look at. Like you heard the fucking crowd; they were going wild and shit. I've been fucking popping up for the crowd too. I'll see a player doing that shit. Like they're just feeling themselves. They right now are all confident in each other's ability to win the game. But the same thing happens in T1s too. So we're gonna have to go over some of these games. Okay, so Deft having Lux and Caitlyn bot lane, I think it's good. I think the entirety of DRX's comp is fine overall. Yeah. It's one of these things where Peanut couldn't play Kindred in the series because that would require Peanut actually having a brain that isn't fucking top cup of noodle or some shit. But he can't play the game.
No, GenG just they were trying to do too much and get into DRX's head that they got in their own head. They made so many mental errors where you're starting to see like this could be considered like complete choke job of like
because pretty much they got all the bad parts about Chovy, right?
Yeah.
All they got was just laning Chovy. That's not why you have Chovy on your team. That's not why you picked that guy. And then Peanut's out here just choking on cup of noodle and shit. He can't play the game. He can't play carry junglers.
I don't know.
Doran, remember that game Doran ran Ignite against Doran? What? This man, one of these games, I remember this man had Ignite. He had Ignite TP as a Sejuani against an Orin. Why? What is the reason for that? Why does this man have Ignite against an Orin? Because people are going to be like, well, what about the kill pressure? If you play against an Orin, okay, who dies to you by Ignite, that guy should uninstall his computer and throw that shit in the garbage.
Oh, shit.
That should never be a thing. Okay. Then what also hurts is that Doran lost on the top matchup, right? When he is the one supposed to have kill pressure, right? He got solo killed. And what the you might see that ult he just did. This guy is horrible. Look at that ult he just did. He knows he's dead. Why waste your ult? You know you're dead. You know you're choking. You know you're bad. So look right here. He gets out. Right there. Throws his ult. Obviously, King and flashes it, but why throw it? There's no reason to. He's going to die anyway. You don't think King and wasn't going to burn his flash there? Like, it was a complete underperformance on pretty much all these guys' parts. I'm not taking away DRX's wins. I'm not. I think they played really well, all things considered.
But JDG played like absolute shit.
Yeah, this was some like dumpster level trash. Like, because people keep doing this. Oh, we'll just ban Zeka. We'll just ban out his Akali and Silas. Man, just popped up in other champions. Yeah. So that weakness that DRX had, not really a weakness anymore, actually.
Nah. And that was the issue, GenG. They were too reliant on what they saw before and not what they were able to adjust to.
Like Peanut went 0-4 on a Trundle when he's got a Zir and a Sejuani. It's like, and I didn't mind the Xayah pick in this game. So this was one of the games where I was sitting here going like, oh my god, they got outpicked. Now this was the game they got outdrafted really hard. Now I want people to understand this though. You don't always have to get outdrafted to lose. Okay, you don't. That's not how that works. You can simply get outdrafted and play well in the game and win, because what matters in the game is all that what matters. You need to play well in the game itself. Okay, drafting is just one part of it, guys. If I draft, let's say I draft really well, right? Let's say I draft a team like this that DRX have, right? My mid laner goes 0-10 because he played like complete shit. Does it really matter, honestly, at the end of the day? No, because it won't. That doesn't change anything. Having a better draft only just gave me a slight advantage, actually. Now, in this comp right here, GenG counterpicked themselves, or they got well, DRX played the draft out better because they took the Braum. Now, the reason why the casters highlighted the Braum for anyone who's new to this is because Nautilus's whole thing is about engaging for your composition. He's all about engaging and basically being nice, disengaged with his ultimate. He can hook, he can knock somebody up, sets up team fights very well. It's a nice champion overall, so very nice utility support. The problem here is that doesn't matter against Braum. Braum just stuns. You see right there how he couldn't really do more than what he could because Braum's just going to stun him. So he's going to leap himself in. He's going to get stunned. He's going to get chunked out. And that's the reason why DRX's comp was way, way better in this scenario, because even if you have Ruler who would use his ult, right? You would use the ult, the Feathers Fly ultimate that she does. Won't matter. Braum could just put his shield up and block the entire thing. Even when they got that low, they couldn't kill them. Actually. I don't know why Ruler didn't just flash there and just flash QE right there. I don't know why he didn't do that. He would have picked up 2 kills. At worst, he gets 1 of them, right? And then you have a game right here where, Peanut isn't going top lane when you have better priority in the Renekton. The Viego Renekton matchup does better than the Kindred Gragas matchup because Piosik was just too busy out jungling and out pathing Peanut. That's pretty much it. Piosik leaped in, got an early dragon, got an early, red buff. This guy was just insane. Piosik was just an insane jungler in this game. Piosik is very streaky. He doesn't always have games like this, but he's having these games right now when it really matters, right? So the draft in this game was not very good from GenG. Also, Chovy on Rise. There was a part of this game where people pointed out he's like literally farming as the team was losing. Now, there's a part in this game where GenG, it looked like they could honestly come back. They got a few picks. You're like, okay, this is what this comp can do. It doesn't matter, guys, because this was the play right here. One of them got killed early on. But yeah, I remember this right here. They killed Piosik, and you're like, oh, okay, they got the pick here. Maybe we might have a game 5. I think right here you chance getting the Baron. I think you do it right there. But they chose to go be like, okay, I'm just gonna take the dragon actually, which is okay. Yeah. So you get a fair trade, you get a dragon. That's cool. Now you have 2 dragons. Now Peanut getting caught out right here. Don't really know why he needs to check Baron when they already checked Baron. What are you doing? What are you doing? There's no reason to be here. They know they're not starting Baron. They have a ward there.
But he burnt a flash when he knew he was fucked.
Oh my god, this guy's fucking horrible. What is this? He knows they're not taking Baron. You have a ward right there. Also, you guys need to look at his build. All right, there's a part where you need to look at Peanut's build. He literally had 1 item at about 20 minutes in. He has 1 item. Piosik has 2 finished. That's how badly he got out-farmed this game.
Yep.
And these little shitty Peanut defenders out there, this guy got completely gapped. Completely. And then there was a part where Doran missed TPs in, thinking that they were actually going to fight. He dies. So Renekton's advantage is gone now at this point. Doesn't matter what Renekton does now if he loses this early game advantage. He did do better. This was Doran's best game of the series, but it doesn't really matter if you TP in like that. TP in with the small blind eyes like these fucking people have and shit. Yeah, the game is over. After that, it was just all favor towards DRX. What was the Dragon team fight? This one was actually, Ruler actually clutched that team fight out actually with the 2 kills. So what's the one about Abara's Dragon? It was the Dragon team fight I want to go to. Okay, so where's... Okay, no, Chovy was here. I don't know why people said Chovy wasn't there. He just didn't do anything. There's really nothing you can do. They just got outscaled, actually. There was a chance for GenG to come back in the game, but they pretty much wasted all of that. Actually, there was really nothing you can do. Like at that point, there's not much you can really do. They get outzoned, they get outpoked. Their champions fall off considerably well, except Rise, but that's not really going to change anything. And the other thing about Chovy is I don't know if it was choking or just underperformance. I really don't know, actually. I don't know at all, honestly. Okay. Anything else?
Nah, that. Okay. The main takeaway from that one was I think GenG did as best they could, but they just got outplayed. The minor mistakes led to major like like was it the minor mistakes, getting caught out, not going for a full objective. The trades were good, but it's like every time they did something wrong, DRX capitalized and then some. And this is why you can't say DRX are frauds because they took advantage of every mistake that their opponents did. And at the end of the day, JD should be proud, and of course, JDG, but they just got outplayed by better teams. That was it.
Yeah, the thing here is you got to understand if you're looking at the individual games themselves, GenG really underperformed, but DRX also played really well. And maybe the series goes 3-2, but looking at how they played, I think even if it went to the next game, I think DRX still wins it, actually. But I would never know that. I'm just saying, based off how they were performing on the day, I think DRX wins it. I think the GenG players were overthinking, overcompensating on a lot of things. I think they reverted to the things that people didn't like about this roster. Because you knew the roster has a lot of potential, kinda, but the weakest part is the thing about rosters like this is you have the two main carries, Chovy and Ruler. But if Doran is running it down as hard as he is, you can't really do anything. So the other player you think might be like your third carry, he's not really playing too well. Peanut's getting gapped so hard in jungle, it's not really making that much of a difference. And then you have Lehans, who been underperforming the whole series, actually. The fact that Ruler can get 2 kills like that in that very last team fight shows they had a chance to win that game. But they couldn't because they misplayed everything. They misplayed their Baron setups. They misplayed their fucking dive setups. They misplayed everything.
No, the Baron setups was the problem is when because the setups are all right. It's when you would double check. It's like, don't double check when you already got the check, the setup. And that's what happened to Peanut. And then they got the dragon, but then they damn near get obliterated in a team fight. It's like every time they did something right, they did something wrong immediately after. It was always one person that always messed up on something. And Peanut, I don't know what the fuck he was doing. He was the worst person on GenG, not even close. Like that.
Also, the other thing that I'll bring up is I think it was something else to bring. Oh, Beryl. Beryl has made 3 out of the last World Championship finals 3 years straight. Beryl was on Damwon last year, was in the finals. Beryl was also in the finals in the 2020 League of Legends World Championship. Beryl has made the last 3 finals. What an impressive feat that is. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. GenG changed. I mean, it's rumored that Kanavi might be leaving JDG. If Kanavi leave JDG, GenG, you might want to pick that guy up. That's the player you probably need. All right, let's go to Law Esports and let's do our last prediction. So, this is the last series of the year, guys. We made it. We made it to the last series of the year. Okay, we're here. We are here. T1 versus DRX in the finals. I know people was like Def versus Faker. Guys, Faker and Def have barely faced each other like ever. And the only time, no, has there been times Def has faced? No. SKT played EDG in 2015 at the DMSI, and Def won that against Faker. There was the group stages where SKT beat them. Yeah, in international tournaments, yeah, Deft already beat Faker a long time ago. That was a long time ago, though. That was fucking 7 years ago, actually. So this is a lot different now. And people think like Zeka might just grieve against Faker. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think. Okay, so I know a lot of people have brought up pressure, right? People are bringing up pressure, high pressure event. It's all about pressure. It's all about that. Well, didn't the DRX players just play really well under pressure just like the week before? But it's different though. Semifinals. This is to win the whole thing. Now it's like, okay, can you do it right now? Because all those other series you were doubted. Now in this series, people are thinking they can actually win the whole thing. I think it'd be an amazing Cinderella story if they won. But looking at it, I think it's going to be a series that's going to go the whole distance. But I think Faker gets his 4th world championship. Because the year that I was fighting for Ruler and how good Samsung Galaxy were back in 2016, they ended up losing 3-2. And that was to Faker, actually, when he won his last world championship back in North America, though. It's crazy how Faker's only won world championships in North America. 2013. His 2 of them he's won in North America. 2013, 2016, and the other one was 2015 in Europe. He's only won championships in the West whenever the Worlds have been held in the West. So we start from the top to the bottom. So we have Zeus versus Kingen. I'm pretty sure you get that to Zeus. I'm pretty sure that's definitely Zeus favored. I guess it depends on which champion they're on, but I would still have Zeus in that. You have Owner versus Piosik. I think if you give Piosik Kindred a few of the games, I think they can definitely win a few of those games, but Owner's not been bad himself. Faker versus Zeka. Right now, it definitely should be even, but I think Faker will have the bigger clutch factor than Zeka. Then you also have the bot lane. You have Deft and Barrel versus Gumayusi and Keria. I mean, T1's bot lane have been much better performers throughout the tournament than DRX's bot lane. I think DRX's better qualities come outside of the laning phase. But if they get destroyed in the laning phase, I just don't see them actually winning more than maybe a game. If they get destroyed in the laning phase, I think, because T1 are just like them, but just better. They're just going to be able to end a game so much quicker, right? T1 are actually going to be a team where if they get a lead, they're just going to end the game. They even out macro JDG when JDG thought they were actually ahead in the game, taking turrets and, moving around the map and doing that. So that's just how I see it personally. What do you think, man? How do you think the series is going to go?
I got T1 winning. I want to say
guys who are watching this, I'm going to show you how much fucking hypocrites and straight up pieces of shit we have watching League. These people will clamor all this underdog team and this, and this, and I'm going to show you if these people aren't even putting their money where their mouth is. If you really think that DRX can win the finals, then why is it only 15% of people? 15% of people think that DRX can actually win the whole thing.
I've been saying, I mean, on my initial picks, the picks that who's going to win the world at the beginning. I said T1.
Oh damn! You're about to get reward. You're about to get that bag in for those rewards. God damn! My crystal ball sucks.
I said the person who might get the most kills was Faker. I was like, shit. I was like, okay. I went and watched a bunch of LS videos.
The thing here is, it's one of those. I don't think the DRX will just grief the whole series. I think it'll go the distance. I do.
No, it's definitely. I believe it's going to distance, but to me,
I think at the end, I think Faker is going to have it. Faker has definitely brought people back into that conversation of he is back to that carry form, because there was a while there. I'm pretty sure you even heard LS say it. He was literally just a utility guy, right? He's gotten back into that carry form, and that's pretty scary.
After that last Worlds where he lost, where he, like they said, the way he carried his dead team into the finals, because they said it was literally it felt like, and I think the comparison was, it felt like LeBron James in 2007.
Oh yeah.
All
right.
I was like, okay, that's like, I think he has a team that he can actually play around now. It's like you got players who actually want to play the way how they described it. I was like, okay, this either goes 3-2 or this gonna be one of those 3-0 that you blink and you miss the whole series kind of thing.
Yeah, guys, this also could be a mega huge stomp in T1's favor, or DRX could come out and just stomp T1. Though I don't think that's a possibility, but it definitely is.
This is how it is. Like T1 always been taking game ones like lightly. That's me. If DRX comes out, if DRX wins game one, but it's not by a large margin, T1's winning the series 3-1.
There's also a good chance that if T1 drops game one and if DRX win game one, they already have one game in and they play game two very well, they could possibly win game two. That's a very scary position right there, actually. Because now the mentality's flipped. T1's like, okay, now we're probably the underdogs. We're probably going to get beaten by these guys. But then again, that'd be really crazy. I doubt it's going to happen.
I think T1's already going in, like, not too afraid of DRX. They're like, all right, cool. Like we're just playing a certain way. We just
because now having Faker as a primary carry, like a legitimate carry for them, that opens up a whole new layer for how strong their team actually is now. Also, you got to factor in. Oh yeah,
okay, real quick. How many points do you have?
I have 53.
Jesus Christ!
I took too many gambles because I thought I was right.
You have fucking brain dead. What did I just hear? Oh, if they win game one and then they win game two, they have a pretty good chance.
No. Well, what I'm saying is that's gonna shift the mentality on T1. So let's say if DRX win the first 2 games, you don't think T1's just gonna be like, fuck, the pressure just gets them and they just choke a game 3 and they lose 3-0? That's a very big possibility. But then again, is my dad gonna be in my life?
That's with any team up 2-0. What do you mean?
I don't like you. Who you have in the finals, you Canadian bastard?
Fuck. I'll go with T1, and it's gonna be another Con heartbreak 3-2.
Lord. If Faker wins his 4th World Championship, Sean's gonna turn on his face cam and show us that he's beaten off to Faker. Oh, look!
No, I'll be beaten off to the homophobic stuff their fans sent to LS.
Jeez. Oh yeah.
Shit.
Oh no, I don't believe my fans would ever do that. Hi, my name's Joe Marsh.
Yeah, my fans are nice people. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's why I'm really not supporting T1 still, to be hit with this, because I'm just sorry. Until they get a new CEO, I'm just like, you don't deserve anything.
Well, guys, that's it. I have T1 winning the series 3-2. I think it'll be a very good series. And even if DRX lose, I think it's just impressive by what they've done so far. I mean, but hey, people are going to play revisionist history right after the tournament's over. They're going to be like, wait a minute, I think Damwon should have been in the finals. Which, not the worst take, actually, because Damwon were actually pretty good.
No, Damwon should have made the finals. And, like, if you look at stuff, like, there could have been some interesting stuff that went by instead, like, well, I mean, firstly, though, DRX, it's like if they do win Worlds on their way, they're beating the 3 teams that have had the most international success in history, I'm pretty sure, on their way there, the 3 orgs.
Also, if DRX actually beat T1, they'll have beaten every single favorite in the event. EDG was a favorite, they beat them. T1 would have been a favorite, they beat them. GenG was a favorite, they beat them.
Yeah,
but all the favorites.
Yeah, but no, that's EDG crazy. Was shit. They deserved to lose, but
they were Flandre. That's what they.
No, Damwon should have won, though. But if they did, and then DRX didn't, it would have been a rematch there from last year.
I was told that Canyon was worse than Peanut, but he lost to him. That's what I was told.
Oh, he is.
I hate you.
I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I wouldn't agree with that first, but I saw Peanut in that last couple games against DRX. I was like, this motherfucker.
It was worse in summer, obviously not at Worlds.
New ASMR suck. Okay, that's all right. So as you guys know, I have been making a lot of 2022 offseason content, and we're going to talk about one of those topics today for the LCS, actually. So the LCS is going to be maybe making some changes, actually. Let me bring up the article that I have here. Well, there's the one about, there's the 2, but okay, the Danny one. The Danny one is that Danny will not play for Evil Geniuses during the LCS 2023 season. Pretty sure that's not surprising to anyone who's...
Nope, not surprising one bit. I
mean, I hope he's okay. I truly mean that. But
I Ben said this. I was like, "There's no way in hell they bring him back."
I guess they bring in double lift.
Oh Jesus!
Oh shit! I guess they bring in changes.
I mean, I would be concerned with both options right now, Danny or Kaori. I'm not impressed with either. Kaori is too small of a champion pool, and I mean he's better in lane, but yeah, it's a weird situation.
Yeah, I agree. Like I'll probably just put Carey back out of academy.
Well, no, Kaori's good enough for LCS now. You'll land on a team if not 100 Thieves, but it's just.
Give me a second. Give me one second.
I knew once Danny left, he probably wasn't coming back, and then they said the possible reasons why he left. I was like, nah, he ain't. And when he left too, once he left, I was like, he left right there.
I mean, okay, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but maybe like they could try to import a European player like Exakick.
No, they can import Ica.
Or they could go down to Brazil.
Ica's LCS legend.
Yep.
It's insane how that guy's been on that like org in the European Masters for literally like 8. Yeah, for literally he was on that org for like 8 years, and then just like the little in between on Immortals.
He's gonna be on another LFL. He's gonna play for Team Aegis.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Turkey might be a LFL team actually. If Turkey loses their world spots, that means that LCK or LPL will have 4 seeds again. Not both, maybe, but that would also mean that too, because if Russia can't compete next year at Worlds, and with Turkey not having a world spot, that might mean that the LPL and LCK get 4 seeds again.
Well, I really feel bad for Turkey, but it's like all the shit that fell apart with them, why they're doing bad and everything. Like it's shit that was out of their control. And honestly, another reason was actually just because other regions just like stole their best talent. Actually.
All right, guys, let's go right into this. So the LCS. Oh, well, what is wrong about the LCS, right? Oh, there's a lot of things wrong about the LCS, actually.
We don't have double lift.
And sneaky and medios.
Yeah. And personal plane.
So there's a lot of things wrong with the LCS, guys. But the thing here is the LCS really wants to improve on the viewership. Now, I've explained why the viewership has been low for many different reasons, actually. Now, if people want the viewership to actually get better, you're going to have to make some changes. Now, Riot completely fumbled the NALCS scene for a lot of different reasons that I can't detail in this video because I'd be here for like another hour, actually.
Yeah, they fumbled it hard. It's like you knew that stuff for Reginald was going on, so why didn't you have a cam backstage so we can see him beating on his players live?
Remember when there was a ESPN that wanted to like broadcast League like as a big thing, but Riot didn't want to give away the media rights to have them do that? I was like, holy shit, you people are idiots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, guys, the reason why the LCS viewership has not really like increased or has gotten better because Riot makes really, really bad decisions. Like really bad decisions. They could have had like the Overwatch League. Remember how they have that exclusive broadcast rights with Twitch that it was worth like $100 million? Okay, Riot could have had that too. But they were like, no, I'm keeping my media rights. Oh, well, you're stupid then. This is like, God. And now they're going to be potentially shifting the days from Saturday, Sunday to Wednesday, Thursday. Now, personally, that works better for me in some cases, but it also not because, well, I like to go to the movies on Thursday to watch new movies sometimes. So, and we will also have to shift the podcast over because we do this podcast on Wednesday before the games even go on. So we have to actually do this show earlier in the week, actually, maybe in the weekends now. Like if this actually is true and they shift these days, that just is a lot, actually. Because I mean, I can't fault them because they need to do something to get the viewership back. But I think the reason why the viewership hasn't been there is because NA just sucks. You just suck.
Well, they need, again, it's like American sports. They need to have, I think, apps and structures and everything where people, because American sports, they like keep a lot of hardcore fans like keeping track of like prospects and stuff. They need to have like an amateur circuit and everything for players like that, as they do with the European Masters and EU, because that's the type of thing NA fans are into, and it could easily carry over to esports. And they always wanted like kind of like fantasy kind of stuff, and which we then finally got. But then also like franchise modes and everything. It's like they need to just implement more of that, and then I think it would gain more fans' interest and like looking forward to like certain players.
Also, the other thing, remember when this happened? Because remember how they said they can't have BO3s because it hurts the viewership? But that's not a Riot problem. That's a team problem. If people don't want to watch Dignitas, that's because Dignitas has done nothing to garner any fans. I know. I think James brought this up. He was like, they don't want to have. No one wants to sit there and watch Dignitas versus Immortals, right?
But nonetheless, I mean, nobody's gonna want to watch them in a best of one anyway. It's not like it's best of three is what does it.
Yeah, because the thing, no one wants to watch them in best of one, so you kind of factor in, well, in best of three, will it be more attractive? Well, if the orgs themselves did any incentives to pull people to watch them, because that's the thing here is you could have best of, but the thing here is in the LPL and the LCK, they have teams that play against each other that people aren't really fans of, like Fredit Brion and Nong shit Red Force, and fucking you have anyone's Legend versus like Up or some shit, right? Do people really watch all those games, even if teams you're not a fan of? Not really, because even in the NFL or the NBA, no one watches every single game. But the orgs themselves do various things to drive in potential engagement to their brand. The reason why people don't want to watch Dignitas or Immortals or Golden Guardians, potentially, is because the orgs have done nothing to bring in any fans. That's just how it is. They've done nothing to bring any interest into why I should give their org any time of my day to watch their games. I watch the games because I do these shows, but if I was just a casual, I wouldn't really watch Dignitas games. Why would I watch that? They're not good. They've never been good. They had that one good split where they got like third place in that third place match or some shit, but then that all fell to shit when they got destroyed in the regional qualifier that year. Or Golden Guard, or even FlyQuest have tried. FlyQuest is trying their best. Well, now with them getting acquired by another organization, they kind of want to spend some money. Might be a bit different, but people need to understand this though. It's not about watching bad teams. If these orgs did anything to drive your engagement, you'd watch them. Nobody watches all the NFL games. They just don't. Nobody watches all the NBA games. They just don't. You think everybody watches all those MLB games? They don't.
It's not possible because they come out at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, wait, hold on. FlyQuest sold their team?
They're not owned by the Bucks anymore. They're owned by another group now.
Okay, but it's still FlyQuest.
Yeah, it's still FlyQuest.
Well, thank fucking God. Holy shit.
What if they were called just Quest?
Well, hey, I mean, you remember that CS:GO team the Quest that beat Cloud9 for their...
What was that play? What was that CS:GO girlfriend that got thrown in jail because she shot her boyfriend at an event? I was like, what the fuck?
Jesus, I know there's some crazy. You remember the? I believe it was the Immortals like Montreal story.
Oh hell no! That is too old. That is too old. So that's just my thing. The reason why no one wants to watch Dignitas games is because what has Dignitas done to ignite any interest in their brand? What have they done really?
I don't want to see them or Immortals go because they're kind of long stays like Orus and Brands. Like I would like for them to just stay in the league just with new ownership and a new vision, but I just don't know if that's going to happen ever.
And then you have these fucking idiots out there who go like, yeah, I want to watch a team with NA players. I don't want to watch a team with just imports. No, you don't. The most popular teams have barely any NA players on there. You could go support Golden Guardians and CLG right now, and they have all NA players pretty much on there. No one does, because that's just what people...
Well, people supporting CLG again now, but...
Well, now, yeah. It's just thing more like... This whole like I want to support whole like NA talent is just a bullshit reason. Because first of all, you could just go watch Academy, which has a bunch of NA players in it, but no one does that.
I mean, well, the Academy, like it's because of the production and like advertisement and everything. But I mean, I do watch Academy. That's why I know about certain players. But
yeah, but the thing is, the people that want to see more NA talent, they actually don't. It's the people they're just liars. These people are just complete capping. If you want to go support a full NA roster, we had them here. We had mostly full NA rosters this year, and a lot of these bottom teams. The reason why no one wants to support those bottom teams is because they don't have any incentive to be fans of them. Their content's not that well. They don't even produce content to get you actually a fan of them. 100 Thieves literally produced content so well that they had fans before they won anything. And then when they won something, it hit more. Like, these orgs are just lazy. This is just insensitively lazy. So why would I be a fan of Immortals when they have Power of Evil? There a reason to be? But I mean, they have Lost, right? Lost is so good.
He is.
Chaz, what do you think? What do you think the reason why people aren't watching Dig and Golden Guardians and Immortal games actually?
Because they suck. Like, it's like, dude, if you don't make the playoffs, people don't care about you. Like, that's the basic thing about it. It's like, if your team goes what?
Golden Guardians went 4-14.
4-14 is not good.
Beat it once, and then they somehow make the playoffs. And people actually thought they could win more than 3 games. Guys, they could barely win 4 out of 18 out of 8 weeks.
4 out of 18 is barely above. Well, no, it's 20%.
That's a 20%, maybe 20% win average.
It's like 22%.
Oh, my goodness. Here we go.
Sorry, the 4 out of 14. No, sorry, the 4 out of 14. No, it's like
13%, right? Has to be.
No, 4 out of 14 is like 30. It's like 29%. It's low. It's low as shit.
Sources: Riot is expecting to change LCS game days to midweek. According to multiple sources, Riot Games is expecting to change LCS game days to weekdays. LCS has been played on weekends for several years. Normally, it used to be played on Saturday and Sunday, but with this change, everything points to Wednesday and Thursday, but the days have not been communicated to the teams yet. The LCS teams have been already informed of those plans. However, Riot Games concluded that these are the plans they have in mind, and it will not be official until the LCS schedule is sent to the teams, sources told Blix.gg on Sunday. All signs point to the Valorant League of America remaining on weekends, so it would be a way of not overlapping both North American competitions. Although sources close to Blix.gg would not claim that there is any relation to the decision. For the time being, no change of game days is expected in the LOL European LEC. In addition to this schedule change, more changes are expected in the competitive LOL. We will inform about them when we know for sure. It's also crazy that the best regions in the world play BO3s. The best regions in the world, guys, play BO3s. NA looked somewhat decently better with BO3s.
That's just a coincidence, right?
Oh, yeah. I love how, like, LCS players say they want to win worlds, but are never, ever putting in the actual mindset and thought to why the LPL and LCS players win worlds. They play BO3s. They just do.
Yeah, but no, that is actually kind of funny, though, because, like, 2016 and 2017 were probably 2 of the better years internationally for NA. Only one team made it out as per usual, but there were a bunch of times, like, again, the other teams should have, though, especially in 2017. It was like, or I forgot which one it was, but yeah, Immortals and they
people
100%.
Actually thought Immortals could have got out over Fnatic in that group, which they
100% should have. They choked both for those games.
What's the Riot system being shitty? I don't know how a team 0-4 can get out of groups. That's just not even. I don't want to go. Fucking hell, that's bringing back bad memories.
And then the other team as well kind of choked. We won't talk about that, but yeah. So I mean, honestly, 3 teams could have made it out, and they should have.
The thing here is, I don't understand the mindset of some of these players. These players are just lazy. They want to win worlds, but you want to put in half the work. And someone says, "Oh, but it's gonna my mental state." You want to win worlds or not? It's guys. It's not. It's one of these things.
If you have a weak mental state, then you shouldn't be an esports player. It's just like a sports athlete.
It's one of those things where they want to do like half the work. They want to play less games and then maybe have chances of doing well internationally. How would that make sense?
They need to watch the Sword Art online.
So, there is the thing with I think Mark Z pointed out that the scrim culture is really bad. So you kind of factor in the 5-hour scrim block, right? So you scrim, and then they do like VOD review, and then you do review. So and this is just about what I'm saying, why are you doing a 40-minute review over just one scrim game? Just do a 5-minute review, be like, hey guys, we should have did this, should have did that. blah blah blah.
Yep.
Because the thing,
I do not understand that. Those VOD reviews are so painful. They provide almost
because
nothing.
people gotta factor this in. If you sit in one area for a long time, it's gonna be harder to retain information. That's why in school they swap you out between class to class.
Yes, it actually is just like ADHD, like God. That's why honestly, when I was in school, like the 30-minute classes were fucking like straight A's, but when I got to hour-long classes, just like information passed by, and it's just like those VOD reviews. If you want to talk about like destroying your mental state, those definitely will. Those are painful.
Here's an example.
Yeah.
Imagine if we all have teams, right? Let's say I say Chaz. All right, I got my team. I got your team. We're gonna play a scrim block. Scrim blocks. Well, what Mark say? Like 1 to 4, right? For a scrim block, and then you play the rest 5 to 8. So we have a scrim block between 1 and 4. We play 5 games. Okay. If game 1 goes 30 minutes or 40 minutes long, game's over. Then the team that lost is reviewing the game. He even said that teams that lose those 30 to 40-minute games VOD review that long. So you're reviewing a game you just lost for 40 minutes as we just put a 40-minute game? Fuck that. I'm canceling. You can suck my dick.
I mean, okay. A 40, 30...
So let's say you play a 40-minute game, right? The losing team does review. They could be reviewing that game for just as long as you just played your first game, actually.
Nah, it should never be that long. It should be like a
That's just rude in general. That's just rude.
It should be a fourth to a third of the time.
I'd say max at least 10 minutes. Max.
Yeah, I would say.
How much information are you really retaining in that? Anything more than like 10 minutes is ridiculous.
Because basic, you look at the beginning parts, then you like, and the thing is too, it should be multiple monitors where people are fast forwarded, skipping parts.
Right, they have access to the replays. They have access to that.
Okay, I'll give you the best example. GenG. You'll look at the parts with PETA. It's like, PETA, why were you scouting Bear where you already had, vision of it? You get out. It's like, why? And then you start looking. It's like, why did you only have one item at 22 minutes? You start looking at it like that. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, why did you miss? Why? Okay, you already had the enemies retreating. Why didn't you, clear them out? Get the ace right there.
But that's not going to take too long to do. Maybe at most the review should be about 10 minutes. At most,
5 to 10 minutes, because it's like
you're trying to get sufficient practice. How can you get sufficient practice if you're reviewing games as long as you're playing them? So imagine playing against like a bottom feeder team like Immortals, and it's Cloud9 facing them. They said they had this thing where they're able to speed run through them. So your game is like 30 minutes against Immortals, maybe, right? Immortals will take 30 minutes to review, knowing damn well they ain't gonna win shit. Damn well they're not gonna do anything. It's just the scrim culture is just really bad. Like, they need to fix that. I don't know who is in charge of doing all that. They need to change that. But it's ridiculous. If that's one of the reasons why they have been doing well internationally, that's your own fault. You need to just fix that then. People gotta stop going, oh no, I want to. No, just shut the fuck up and just do it. You want to win Worlds? Or you want to do well at Worlds? There need to be some legitimate changes. I'm sick of hearing all these excuses every single year, man. It's just, I don't even listen to them shits anymore because it's just stupid. If that's been the scrim culture for this many years, that's ridiculous. Yeah, org owners coming up, yeah, we want to do a lot better. No, you don't. If you really want to do better, then you change it up.
Yeah.
What in the world? This girl's hot.
What? Where did that come from?
I was looking at a Indie Fox Instagram story.
Jesus Christ.
She said she wanted some people to come over. Wait, Amaranth's wearing clothes?
Yeah.
Interesting. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the LCS. I mean, if they change their days, I think that's that itself is another good and bad thing, because having the LEC viewers rate the stream is a very big benefit. So that means they're banking on the LCS teams literally just being attractive enough just to bring in viewers, right?
Yeah.
I guarantee you a game of like Golden Guardians versus Immortals is gonna probably bring in like 20,000 people. Hey, if LCS switches to BO3, Danny might collapse within the first week. Well, he won't be playing, so that won't be a thing, actually. But
Dude, he might just quit because that's like, okay. How would you do the BS3s? Would it be
just like the LCK does, one day you would have 2 sets of teams play. Next day you have the other 2, and then the remaining. They did it before, but that's you would have more broadcast days. Actually, you would go Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to get all the games done. Actually,
okay? How many teams are in the LCS? 12, right?
10.
10.
Yeah.
That's an odd number because then you have to do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You got to do 2 teams.
Yeah,
Wednesday,
they did it
2 teams
before.
Thursday.
It was Friday through Sunday, actually.
Yeah.
So one of the things that they could do is I don't recommend this, but it's I'll say something different. I thought of something else. So the last thing, guys, when it comes to just BO3s in general, is you factor in, you get more games on stage. You kind of really get to see who the better teams are, but there has to be an incentive of these other orgs to maybe produce content or decent content to drive in fans, or have them utilize their big players. Like, how many teams are you guys subscribed to on YouTube where they put out barely any content, actually? And they want you to be a fan of their players. And they're putting out no content based around these players. Some of these players no one even knows about. It's like, it's one of these things that I said about Eric July's comic book. If you're not confident in the shit you're saying, I'm not either. Why should I be confident in that? That's just me. I also think that people need to understand you don't have to watch every single game. The orgs themselves should give you that incentive to do that, actually. Also, what I'm going to bring up as the last point is maybe the LCS wants to save on money, right? Because if it costs a lot of money to run a studio, and they're also out in LA. Well, what would also help them save money is not moving the location of worlds, right? You don't need to move the location of worlds that much. All you have to do is just stay in one spot. So if you want to be, I actually like the crowd they had for the semifinals. Actually, why not just play worlds there? Just play worlds in where they played at. They played it at Alabama or some shit for the semifinals. I think they played it there. Wherever they played it at for the semifinals, I thought the crowd was good there. I thought the energy was good. It was great. Go to one place in the United States or wherever you have worlds. Go to that one place and just hold worlds there. They have to uproot the entire production, go to another place, uproot the entire production, go to another place, spending more money, more time, running the venues. Why not just do that for the one place? Why not just do that for the one place? God, this fucking companies is... That's why I tell people I love playing League of Legends, and I love Yu-Gi-Oh, but I don't know who's worse, Konami or fucking Riot, because it's a pig of the litter, honestly. Konami sucks, and so does fucking Riot,
Oh, shit.
Anything else you want to say, man, before we head out of here? Any other points you want to bring up? Did you mind Dracos and Kadriel doing the cast for the semifinals, actually?
No, it was pretty good.
It came out better than I thought it was.
Yeah.
They're so lucky. Kadriel and Dracos are a good duo. They're so lucky they have Kadriel. Man, I swear, luck carries people so hard. Man, God. Are you on a toaster?
My thing crashed.
No, you have a toaster for a PC. I swear this man had a generator outside. This man was killing a pig as he was... This man was killing a pig as he was listening to us.
Well, no, I do that only on Sundays.
You hurt animals?
Only on Sundays.
I guess. To be fair, it is still food at the end of the day. It's me or the pig. I'm taking the pig.
Yeah, it's the church,
Oh, shit.
Shit.
What's the other thing I could bring up? Yeah, it's just Riot has such a horrible way of running the tournament. Like, the thing here is I don't mind DRX doing as well as they did, but if people want to see more of Damwon games, there's no double elim for that, is there?
No.
If you don't want to do double elim early on because there's too many games, okay, fine. Why not just do double elim for semifinals then? Just semifinals, just semis. One more extra game. That's it. Or no, maybe 2 more extra games, right?
2 more extra games.
Yeah, because a team makes the finals, they would have to wait for the other loser. Yeah, just do double elim in the semis then. Why not? So JDG would have lost to T1. You have JDG face off against GenG, right? And then the winner of that would face T1 in a rematch. And then whoever how that is decided, I don't really know. But why don't we have double elim? Like that's also stupid. If
I
you
think
think JDG is stronger than what they are,
most tournaments don't have double eliminations. Is one and done kind of thing. It's like
for traditional sports, yeah. Dota has double elim. Smash has it.
Smash. I mean, yeah, Smash does have it, but then again,
I don't think it's gonna kill them playing a double elim BO5 in semifinals when it's just literally an extra match.
Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't have it. Pokemon doesn't have it. It's like,
well, I'd be more okay with it if they just improved the groups bracket and everything.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's like because I know people want the best. People always say, I want to see the best teams play. Well, would you ever really know if the best team played without double elim? Because what if JDG lost against T1? It just came back and beat them all.
Well, it's true because
LPL teams have that.
Literally, just
LPL teams
the
have that.
draft.
If you haven't watched LPL, LPL teams have this knack, the really good ones, to lose the first round of the playoffs, then come back and just defeat everybody when they figured out how to be other teams. LPL teams have done that very consistently in their own region. So JDG's knocked out. That's fine, but could they have maybe have made it to the finals?
Probably because again, their main issue was just the draft there in Game 4, but so they could have. I would say they were better than GenG, and I would say they might beat DRX or T1 again. I'm kind of cool with not having it just because League's one of those games where I think more. I like sports more like hockey and rugby, where like more it isn't like as predictable, like shitty ass NBA, like more upsets can happen, but it's still like the best teams winning. And I think League, to get that, it's better to not have double eliminations and the games are too long this time. They tried doing it for other games and it just didn't with that the same game time and it didn't work. It's just I think they need to improve they need to expand the bracket to like 16 teams or something and increase the number of teams that go to Worlds and have like 6 teams in groups or something.
There's 22 teams that go to World Championship. Yeah, there's 22 teams that go to the World Championship.
I'm saying have 2 minor region teams from each of those regions and then around 4 teams from LCS and LEC and like 5 maybe from LPL and LCK, and also improve LEC, LCS, and LCK to at least 12 teams in their regions as well. And then I would have 6 teams in each group, with maybe 5 groups, but let's just around that. And the bottom 2 would go out, which would probably be like the 2 minor region teams in there, and then there'll be like a gray area for the number 4 spot where they would play another team from another group that got number 4th place for like in a best of 3 to make it into the top 16, and then the other 3 or whatnot, or the 3rd place one team as well in their group, and then that's just the top 16 makes it in, and then you don't need double elimination. You can just have that round of 16 and the enhanced group stage and the enhanced playing stage, because there'd be a lot more minor region teams, and maybe they can have like their own small prize pool and trophy before making it into the main group stage.
I probably get rid of playing groups, in my opinion. My thing is I make the tournament slightly bigger. You go 32 teams. It's like, okay, you take the 4 major region teams, right? Or go by LCK, LPL, LEC, and LCS. You give them 4 teams each. That's 16. Now you look at the regions. Every team that wins the major, smaller, the minor region, whoever is number 1 seed, automatically gets in. Now, let's say you got about 27 teams. Mm-hmm. Now you start putting
there's like Chaz, there's like around 8 minor regions or something. So if you have the top 2 teams, then it would be 16 teams from that, and then 16 teams from the major region. So I'm saying, although I would keep planes, I would just have it where every minor region team is in there, and then they have like their own type of tournament, and then there'll be like an LCS where the top 3 from playoffs and makes it to Worlds, something where there'll be like a round of 16 there as well, or like a top 8 or something where for that after like a play-ins groups, and then there's eventually a limit where then all those teams make it in, and then just they can keep going. There'll be like a smaller prize pool and trophy handed out, since those teams are unlikely to do anything in the main group stage, so the minor region fans have something to cheer for, and then they'll be placed as the 2 lowest seeds in each group. So I
like that.
Well, I mean,
so there'll be 8 to 10 minor region teams in the main stage.
What if Freeze was like, you know what, Abadage, you perform kind of shitty. Man, we need to get that old beer sitting here.
Jesus.
That'd be fucking horrible, dude. Oh my god. But I'm pretty sure people saw the video that it did. Abadage and Closer could definitely not be playing for 100 Thieves going for next year. I mean, usually when you see posts like that, they're already shopping for other teams. Like if they do end up with them, it's not because 100 Thieves really wanted them. It's because they couldn't either sell them or they couldn't agree to a buyout.
I think Closer is like, okay, we'll look at who might be.
It's so crazy how they actually Abadage and Closer, out of all the players, they like who he like kind of ran it down pretty hard. I mean, is that the player you really want to keep?
Wait, that's who they're selling?
That's who they haven't announced yet. So Abadage and Closer have been allowed to explore options.
Yeah. I mean, I would, unless they really have, unless they have their eyes on another player or something, or they want to try to grow the one academy jungler they have who's like 17. I mean, he's like literally their best player. I mean, I can understand Abadage. Yeah, you need to change him up. I would change, honestly, the whole bot lane as well. Like, I don't think they're cutting it anymore, and I don't think it's just one of their issues. I think it's both.
It's a lot of issues with them too.
Keep their top and jungle. Unless you want to try to grow tenacity as well, then you could try playing him, but it looks like no. But
what do you think, Chaz?
Nah, that whole thing. Closer, I'm surprised, but I'm not too surprised because I think from how 100 Thieves is looking at it, someday might be the only one that actually stays. I think they're going to try to find a way to get rid of both FBI and Hui. I don't think they want to get rid of one without getting rid of the other. They either keep them or they get rid of them. Abadage, like I think they might be looking for a mid laner. That's why they're testing waters Abadage and with and Closer as a jungler. It's like, okay, do we have a jungler in mind that we might want to come and replace him? Abadage, that I wasn't surprised.
I want to show you guys something. Don't keep going. I just want to show you guys something.
I wasn't surprised one bit with Abadage. That it was like when I saw your video earlier, I was like, damn, I'm gonna miss Closer, but Abadage, like I said, he got too tilted and just never came back from it.
Yeah, listen, they'll get Gilius and Nuke Duck.
Get the fuck out of my face.
Hey, at this point, I think Abadage is too far gone. With 100 Thieves, because you said earlier, what if they go on to another team and do better? I was like, dude, that's the system. Sometimes the players don't work with the system that's on a team. Doesn't mean they're a bad player, but if a player is no longer good for the system, they're trying to develop.
He's honestly better on like worse teams. Like if he were to like go on a improved BDS roster, he would probably do better. I don't know.
Like I felt like because there were people saying that he was better when he was on Golden Guardian. I'm like,
oh fuck, my neighbors are yelling again. God damn it!
It's like once he got that pressure put on him.
I want to show you guys this. This was someone. This is like you can tell the roster needed some changing. This looks a lot like some German Uppenschlagen Hitler shit. Okay, so I mean, look at this really slowly. Okay.
No, it wasn't. This is not when they needed to change. It was when they were playing against C9. or Cloud9, and
Right
motherfuckers
here.
were not talking to each other.
Right here, they start the Baron. Okay,
Yep.
they start the Baron.
Yep.
Not that bad because they have the gold lead. They actually kind of have the better comp
Yep.
in some aspects here. The Vi walks over here and flanks, right? What the okay, so first of all, this Vi flashes in ults. Okay? They have stopwatches, and they stopwatch when FBI has a W that can slow her. What the fuck is this? If that is Omega low griefing. That was a squishy Vi who flashed ulted in, and Victor could just put down his gravity field. What is this, man? Why did he Zhong us? What is this? No, fuck that. You need to get off the stage playing that bad. If you're playing that bad, you Audi. Be done.
Yeah.
Well, they can also bring in Frostgaren to bring in the viewership up.
Well, did you not see my comment earlier?
What if they bring in Frostgaren on the broadcast and she has another meltdown?
Jesus Christ.
I'm not you guys want to talk about 100 Thieves versus Evil Geniuses.
Frost versus Fake.
Listen, you guys don't want to talk. You know, guys don't want to hear about 100 Thieves versus Evil Geniuses. You know what you want to hear about?
Sexism in gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, why are there no women on
I'm calling
here?
you out, Twitch chat. I am calling you out.
She probably because oh my goodness, because I'm gonna go over those tweets that she put out. So funny. She just puts her foot in her mouth. This is so funny.
Motherfucking mouth.
God, the thing that she said about Henry Cavill, my heart was hurting from trying not to laugh as hard because she's just so stupid. Guys, Frostgaren is trash. Flat out trash. I understand if you weren't involved with League of Legends, you wouldn't really know her, but that's fair. But she's a horrible person. That person is straight up trash. No, when Geese and Gamers grabbed her, I'm like, you know what? That one, I get behind you on that one.
She's
fucking trash. God. And my dad, Jeremy, should make a video about me.
Damn near was the reason why.
Remember when she gloated that she kept her job after G4 was letting people go, and she got fired a few days later?
Like, yeah, not just her, but it was a G4 TV. They came back and they were done. They only lasted 8.5 fucking months or some shit like that.
Yeah, they started in January of 2021. They only lasted till like what? Maybe June?
About a year. It was about a year or some change, but it was like, you're telling me that you were getting. I think at most they were getting was 20,000 viewers.
It's not bad for a rebrand.
That was at the peak and at the start because everybody was interested. It came back.
That was at a peak in a brand, and that was
it had a consistent viewership though. Like, because I mean, okay, there were tons of things they could have done with like a revamped G4 TV that was amazing. They didn't do it, but they kept it, basic, kind of like, in the off season when they have that like off season stream with people like Emily and stuff. Like they kept it basic like that, and the amount of viewers they got for that type of like gaming news thing, like you have to understand in like 2022 that's like people don't really do that anymore, or there's not really like those type of channels are used for anymore to a lot of people, and they don't watch that stuff much anymore, especially on YouTube. So the fact they got that much for just doing that was pretty impressive, especially with such an old brand that not many people remember, like G4 TV. So they had a consistent viewership, and then they just, thanks to somebody.
Also doesn't help that Adam Sessler, that guy, holy shit.
Yeah, it doesn't help that, you're a gaming thing, but then you don't talk about gaming.
Yeah.
I would never hire Frostgaren to clean Warren's courtyard. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Do you think Warren would let Frostgaren lick his ass?
I mean, if he wants to get AIDS, then maybe. I agree. Henry Cavill is a fucking pedophile. Hell yeah.
You know how the LCS could increase their viewership? They should hire the quarter.
I mean, it would increase it in one way.
They
Nah.
have
It would increase the mass.
If you want to increase your viewers, hire Emirates to dress as Miss Fortune every fucking day.
You know what they should do? If they have the quartering during the LCS broadcast, you could have a quarter pounder segment detailing how they make one.
Yeah, no, it would be like we could have like a cam on with like a blood pressure and like heart rate of him watching the games. It's like anytime TSM fucks up, it's like his
he does this segment where he does a segment where he goes to Walmart and tells you all the different types of cheese he likes to eat on his parents.
Yeah, he puts on 18. He definitely puts 8 on 18 different kinds.
He buys like Swiss cheese and goes, "That's what the black people like putting on their burgers."
Yeah, you know, Swiss, American.
Oh my goodness. All right, guys, that is it. We will be going live later on this week, I think. No, probably it depends, honestly. I got to plan all my content out. I got a lot of stuff I got to do. Thank you guys for your support. I will be dropping more off-season news videos as the news develops. Hansama and Mickey X on G2. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, one player's a bit of an upgrade. The other is I mean, honestly, actually, both might not be an upgrade because Hansama didn't really. That's okay. This is going to be interesting, but oh, did you see my thing in private chat?
Give me a sec. Yeah.
You know, if I was like part of a business, I would do things just to purposely piss off the quarter and see if he makes videos on it. Like if I ran the cheese business, I would rename the Americana whatever cheese, you know, to something else, saying like, you know, so it's more diverse, just so he can make a video saying cheese has gone woke. You know, we can't have anything called American now. What the fuck?
This guy said, sources, TSM is in the process of signing Chovy. That's not happening.
I mean, not with that fucking Bitcoin anymore. They're going broke now.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. People said they wanted me to play Valorant. I was like, I don't even know how to play Valorant, dude.
I mean, you did one stream on it.
I could probably learn. I'll think about playing it, because if Riot's going to do something based around it, I'm going to be probably watching it on the broadcast.
Oh, wait, no, that was Apex Legends. Never mind.
Are you blind or deaf or both?
Well, listen, I mean, your gaming's so bad, it doesn't really matter. You'll suck at every game.
My wrist was hurting.
But yeah, I wonder from what?
My arthritis was kicking in.
Yeah, from what? Go ahead, tell them we all know what it was from.
It hurts to pick up my phone.
Yes, we all know what it was from, because